4. We've got Carol on the line. Hello, Carol.
Good morning. I have a question on something that's bothered me for a while to try to understand and get information on. It is about corporations, particularly churches.
Okay.
Uh, who owns the property and what is the laws on those things? Do you know?
Yeah, it
Or
kind
can
of.
you help?
Well, what's the? Is there a particular question you have, or just want sort of a treatise on it?
Well, I want to know how one goes about protecting or understanding the whole situation.
Okay, but are you a church member and you're wondering how the organization works, or are you going to start a church, or
Wondering about
give
the
me a little?
laws about property that I'm a part of. Yes.
Okay, so it's a church you're part of. Okay, so generally speaking, you form a corporate. Generally speaking, a church will form a corporation to hold the real estate. Okay, so that and in fact, one of the things that's happened over the years, where a lot of churches they held the they held the real estate in a centrally located, put it that way, kind of a central authority held the real estate, and then the individual churches did their, they used the property, but it was owned by the corporate body, by the bigger church. And then what they've done over the years, because of the liabilities and stuff, damn lawyers, because of that, they've devolved it so that each individual location is a separate corporation. So that's a way that they've gone. But typically you've got a corporation of some sort that owns the real estate. Now, there have been and continue to be, I'm sure, battles over who owns the church, or who controls it. Who are the members of the church? And generally speaking, the rules for that are unique to each church, and they'll be spelled out in the bylaws and in the founding documents. Lots of churches, though, from what I've seen, they don't actually, I want to say lots, but some churches don't go through the paperwork. You know what I mean? They're on a mission, and they form things and they buy stuff, and they don't actually go through. So it's difficult. It's difficult to tell, and then those wind up in court with everybody fighting, which is really a shame. But generally speaking, your church, if it's one of the larger, more organized churches, whether it's the Lutherans, Reformed, Catholic, whatever it is, there'll be enough, what do you want to say, corporate organization there, or bureaucratic organization, so that you can actually find out what the governing documents say. But
I
it is a
know.
issue.
I know that pretty much, but this is an independent denomination that's not affiliated with any others.
Then when they formed it, they should have taken out some articles of organization, whether it's a corporation with bylaws or an LLC with articles of organization. There should be some rules there when they started it. Otherwise, it's just owned by the person who owned the real estate to start with. But then there wouldn't be a bank account. There wouldn't be property. There wouldn't be church property, to be the problem, the fight. There's no fight because it's all owned by one person who says, "Hey, I have a church. Come on in," and then get the hell out. I don't know. Um, it could be like that. I've seen that too. So
Well, the thing,
without a little more facts, it's pretty tough to. I'm sorry. You're right. I mean, I'm talking in generalities because I don't have anything to chew on here.
well, I pretty much don't either because I don't know. I've been with it quite a while.
Uh huh.
However, as far as I'm concerned, we all just came and did what we were supposed to do,
Hmm.
and but there was a problem, and some left. So there was now who is supposed to be taking care of what's left? Um, they appointed one person to do that, which has been done, but it's where do you go from there?
Well, you mean to wrap up are we looking to dissolve the church? Is that what's going on? Is there real
Am I looking
estate
at
or
what?
is there like real estate there or something? I mean, what's there
Yes,
must be some stuff or
there
money or something that people are fighting over. That's what people fight over. Is that what's going on?
there is real estate, and there is income coming in, but it's very small.
Sure.
And the small income, doesn't carry what you would have a whole group doing.
Right.
So, what I don't know where to go as far as understanding anything beyond that it still is carrying on and doing what needs to do and doing the best they can.
Well, here's the thing. There were either when the church was organized, they wrote stuff down or they didn't write stuff down. And if they wrote stuff down, then you go back to what they wrote down as far as dissolution of the church. I mean, nobody likes to think about that, but that's why we have, lawyers, right? So because we think about that kind of thing, is what happens if this doesn't work out? Now, maybe there aren't any documents like that. That's possible. Okay. That's possible. Um, but if you've got income coming in and it's a church, even if it's non-denominational or independent or what have you, it's got a tax ID number. I bet you it's got some articles of organization somewhere filed with the state of Michigan, probably. Right? You have to go back and look at those to see what the rules are. You get to set up your own rules. I mean, the state of Michigan, the federal government doesn't tell you what you have to have in order to be a church, right? I mean, it doesn't tell you how to organize things or anything like that, but they make it possible for you to do that on your own. Now, if you haven't, now we're back to court, right? Now we'll go through that process. But generally speaking, you're looking at what did the people who set up the church, what did they anticipate? And there are going to be documents on file at the church. There should be at the church. Tell you. And if there aren't,
Minutes, in other words,
beg pardon?
Meetings.
No, well, yeah, minutes of meetings, those would be helpful, but also a charter, right? Also something the pilgrims signed off on, Mayflower Compact and all that. Here's what we're doing. Here's how we organize ourselves. And there should be a corporation on file with the state of Michigan. Bylaws, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All right, go back and fine tune the bylaws.
Yeah,
and what
absolutely.
Does the state say?
Right.
All right.
Okay, I wish I could be more help, but give me a call when you get that stuff. How about that? When you...
Well, these things, I've had trouble. I've tried before from other areas and lawyers, but I didn't get any response. So I don't know that they really know or understand what I'm trying to say, which I'm not really sure I understand myself. But okay,
you got to go back to the you got to go back to the source. Go back to the bylaws. They should give those to you as a member of the church.
Yeah, I can do.
Yeah,
we can do that. I can do that.
Well, call us next Sunday then. Let us know how it turned out. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate it.